Hey guys, happy Saturday, and my internet is back. So I posted the video yesterday, which by the way, took me 6 hours to upload off my phone. Amazing how much faster the internet is. But anyhow, so Thursday, I was uploading my Thursday video, my weigh-in video, and all of a sudden, my internet box just got a red light on it. And so I went over and I unplugged it and I plugged it back in, and my house is pretty soundproof, like I don't hear much outside. Um, and so I plugged it back in and the red light was still there. So I kind of like looked outside to see if anything looked off, if somebody was working over there, looking for like an AT&T truck because the box diagonally across the street from us is an AT&T box. Okay, so there was no AT&T truck, but there was a man working. And he had on jeans and a t-shirt and a baseball cap. And his gray extended pickup truck personal vehicle was parked in the driveway of the owner of the house. So it was parked in the driveway. And it was actually parked on her grass. So it was like, you know how like when you have a friend who knows you might come home while they're working, how they like park over to the side? His was parked like on the grass, like, hey, just in case she comes home, I'm parking here. And she did come home while he was there. And they talked. And I saw this because after my internet went out, I was paying attention. And I actually did a video. I took a video of him doing some of the yard work, and I took a picture of his vehicle. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I felt like I wanted to make sure that AT&T knew who was doing it just in case something happened. So because after I had unplugged and replugged the internet back in and it didn't work, I looked outside and he picked up a chainsaw and was starting to chainsaw this bush. And like literally, if y'all have ever seen somebody use a chainsaw, you'll hold a chainsaw with two hands. You're very meticulous with what you do with a chainsaw. You don't just like willy nilly. And like I told the AT&T guy, he may as well have had that chainsaw on a string and just been swinging it around because he was down on the ground just reaching his arm inside of the bush, just doing this, just whatever the chainsaw cut. Like he did not care. And that tree looks horrific. Looks horrible. So that being said, so I called AT&T and they said, well, we can't have it come out till Friday night. And I'm thinking, great. So now my video's not up. And they said, but we're going to put you on a thing if somebody can come out today. If we have a cancellation, we will definitely send them your way. So I like hesitated to like do a video to put out because there was somebody might be coming out that night. So I might be okay and just put it up on Friday. No big deal. Well, of course, Thursday night comes and goes and nobody comes. And Friday, like early Friday morning, I was awake because I was angry that someone just being negligent caused me to lose my internet. In the meantime, I'm getting stuff from employers that want to hire me saying, hey, come to our website and do this test, or come to my website and do this. And I can't do any of it. None of it. Because all of it requires me to be on the internet on my laptop because they want like, information from my resume and all that stuff on my phone. It would take me forever. Whereas I have a Word doc, I can copy and paste that stuff. But anyhow, so I'm like, okay, it's whatever. I'm just going to take a deep breath and let it go. So I'm just like, I'm not, because I really wanted to go over there. Thursday night, I wanted to walk over and be like, excuse me, what the heck? But I didn't because it's not appropriate and I don't know them. And this is an open carry state, so it's quite possible they carry a gun. And I'm not all about, I'm not all about someone pulling a gun on me because I knock on the door. Even though I'm not doing anything wrong per se, I just don't want to be a confrontation. I am not a confrontational person. So I decide, you know what? I'll just let AT&T look at it and see what they say before I do anything else. So 4 o'clock on Friday, AT&T shows up. And he starts to test my box, and I was like, did they tell you why my internet's out? And he's like, And I'm like, I think so. And I said to him, my internet was fine. I was doing an upload, and this dude was across the street working in their yard, and he, like, then all of a sudden my internet was gone. And I said, I saw him with a chainsaw, so I don't know if he cut the line. And the AT&T guy's like, oh my God, really? I was like, yeah. So he goes over there, and I see him walk over there and look at the box. He looks down, and he just goes like this. And I'm like, oh, no. So he didn't come in and talk to us the whole time he was working. Like, he went over, he brought like a wire over, he brought a new box over, like he brought a bunch of stuff over there, and he was walking back over to his truck, and the woman who owned the house pulled in, so he walked back over where he was working because he didn't want her near his stuff, which when I get to the end of this, you'll understand why. So he's trying to work on our line, and she comes over, hands going, and so I think she is ripping him a new one for being on her property. And I'm like, oh, don't do that, sweetheart. Don't. Like, shh, take it down. And I was really glad at that point that I hadn't gone over there because obviously she's a very emotional person. And I can't fight. So, needless to say, so apparently, he finished what he was doing. We got our internet back. I was like, yay. So he comes back in, and I'm like, so did they hit it with a chainsaw? And he goes, no, it's worse. And he's like, at least a chainsaw could have been an accident. I'm like, excuse me? Okay, so I'm going to backstory this a little bit. So these people just bought this house like maybe 2 months ago. The only time we have seen any of them was when a woman came out in a bra and underwear to bring something out to the trash. So my first impression of them, not great. Now, the woman we saw come across the lawn, not the same woman we saw in the bra and underwear. So I have no idea who that person was. But there's always like 3 or 4 vehicles, so I have a feeling like it's multiple adults living in the house, but I don't know that. So there that is. So there was a bunch of really beautiful flowering bushes all in the yard. And some of them were placed to kind of block this big green box that has all the internet stuff in it. And then our line, because it comes across the street, it comes out and goes up a post and then across the street to us. So there's a light pole there, Well, apparently they don't like the light pole in their yard, which was there when they moved in and has been there for a very long time. So what they did was they tried to yank our wire out of the ground and pull it off the pole. Yeah, they purposefully yanked our wire. And he said, and someone pulled on it enough that it literally was showing copper. He had to dig 6 to 8 inches underground to find a piece of undamaged wire to hook the new wire to. Because these jerks had decided I didn't need internet coming out of their yard and decided they were going to take apart my thing. So anyhow, now you're wondering about what she said to him. Because I said, did she yell at you or something? And he's like, oh, no, she came over apologizing. He's like, and I told her, no, you really need to go across the street and talk to your neighbors because they've had no internet for 2 days because what was done here. Oh, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It wasn't anybody we knew. It was Alabama Power. Okay, so what y'all need to know is the bushes that were cut down were maybe 6 feet tall. Nowhere near the power lines. And even if they were taller, still wouldn't have been near the power lines. Just putting that out there, okay? All right, so nowhere near the power lines. Alabama Power will only cut like the edges of branches off that are into the power lines. So there's no reason for Alabama Power to have been there at all. Alabama Power's power stuff is all up on poles. It is not on the ground. So there's no reason to think that Alabama Power would be in an internet box on the ground. Like there's no need for them to be. There is like an electrical warning on the box, but it doesn't mean it's a power box. But maybe she just thought, oh, there's an electrical sticker on there. We'll say it was Alabama Power. So she started out saying it was Alabama Power. And he had asked me, well, what did the guy look like? I said, he had him in a t-shirt with like a design on the front, like a picture. Like not like, and it was like a worn out t-shirt. Like it wasn't something new. And a pair of jeans and a baseball cap. And he goes, what was he driving? I said, great pickup, extend cab. And I showed him pictures of it because I have pictures. And I won't share them because I don't know them. I don't have permission, even though they're jerks. I'm not a jerk. So, and maybe that wouldn't be a jerk thing to do, but, I'm not about outing people or doxing people. He basically said to her, okay, well, why would Alabama Power have been doing this? She's like, oh, I don't know. But keep in mind, there was a huge brush pile on the side of the road from all the bushes they've cut out that were done by this same person who would have had no reason to cut them if they were Alabama Power because they're in between trees, nowhere near the road. Like, their story is definitely not true. It's the same person who was burning stuff a couple weeks ago. As a matter of fact, the same guy, same pickup truck. So I know whoever it is a friend of theirs or lives there. I don't know. Probably a friend of theirs because the truck's not usually there. So, in the middle of her claiming that it was Alabama Power that did this, she's like, well, we have someone coming over because when we cut the trees down, it left the stump part. You heard that right. When we cut the trees down, yeah. So he says, no, do not touch the stumps. And she's like, well, we have to get rid of them. They look horrible. And he's like, I don't care. What you need to understand is underneath that stump is the main line. That main line affects everybody in this area for internet, television, phone, whatever services they get. So if you hit that line for any reason, or you allow someone to hit that line for any reason, what will happen immediately is the supervisor will come to the scene. He will, on the site, issue you a bill for at least $2,000. He's like, you may get a bill for this damage. Why shouldn't get a bill? It was Alabama Power. He goes, ma'am. He says, listen, I have reason to believe it's not Alabama Power. And I'm just explaining to you that you took out your neighbor's internet. You owe them an apology. And you may or may not get a bill for this service call. And if you do, you need to pay it. And if it was Alabama Power, then you deal with that after the fact. He says, that being said, he says, do not allow anyone to come grind on here. The best thing you can do at this point is to cut the stump at ground level if you need the area space like to mow or whatever. He's like, but I am going to highly recommend that you are very cautious around this area. The bushes and trees that you may have not liked were here so that you wouldn't have to worry about accidentally encountering our box. And he says, and I am noting on here that I told you that if you do anything to this line again or to the main line, you will be charged the money for the repairs. And if it is found to be done maliciously, police will be called and get involved. And she got mad and whatever. She's like, well, we didn't do anything wrong. And we were just taking out trees. I mean, Alabama Power was just taking out trees. And she went back in her house. And I am mad because accidents happen. When I was upset that someone was not paying attention and hit it with a chainsaw, yes. Could I get over an accident happening? Yes. Will I get over them purposefully yanking my line out of the ground? No. No, I won't. And that woman, she better come over here and apologize. Because if she doesn't, I'm going to put a bill in her mailbox for my time. Because I had a lot of stuff I needed to get done in those 2 days, and it didn't get done. Couldn't do any further applications for work. Couldn't work online. Couldn't do my schoolwork online. Barely got my lab done for school online. Like, the amount of stress I was put under for 2 days. Like, legitimately. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. And I really hope she does come over and apologize. I don't think she will. I don't think she has the balls. I think she knows we're upset. And she should know that, especially if she thinks that guy came over and told us that it was done on purpose. And here's the thing, is Alabama Power definitely wouldn't have been grabbing at lines, period, nutshell. You're not going to convince me of that. And I understand you don't like a light pole being in your yard, but guess what? It's within the space that the city allows for you to have utility stuff be put. So there's nothing you can do about that, and I'm sorry it bothers you. Guess you should have bought a different house if you didn't like that. It's not one of those things you can change. Maybe when they were looking at the house, they didn't realize that's what was behind those shrubs, and then they cut them, and they're like, oh, man. And then maybe they thought, well, if we take this out, they'll move it. I don't know what their thoughts were. I just know they're jerks. And I don't like them, and I won't tolerate it. And if they do anything else wrong, I'm going to call. The guy from AT&T gave me his personal phone number. Said, if your internet goes out again, let me know, and I will come back out. He's like, just call me directly. Don't even bother calling. He's like, I'm leaving this ticket open as for follow-up. He's like, I just have this feeling they're going to do something else. If they do, I'm going to have a hard time keeping my temper. Because I would never do something like that to somebody else. Like, I would never, number one, affect somebody's livelihood. I would, number two, affect somebody's ability to access the outside world. Like, what if we didn't have cell phones and all we had was internet? You don't know us. You never talked to us. You never taken 5 seconds of your life to figure out anything about us. So stop. Like, stop being a complete jerk. But anyhow, that being said, I'm just super frustrated with them, and the fact that they just, and the fact that she would lie. You know, one thing she said, oh, we were doing clearing stuff, we didn't realize it. You know, that'd be one thing. But first of all, accuse another company of doing it. And second of all, when you find out that it was actually, and he even told her they knew someone had purposely pulled on it, that it wasn't an accident. So she knows, we know. But she may not know we know, but she knows he knows. So at any rate, that's what happened. That's why I had no internet. Yes, I'm mad as hell. But what am I going to do about it? I mean, if I start an issue, it's going to create an issue diagram between neighbors. I've watched that TV show, Neighbor Next Door, or whatever it's called. I ain't all about that life. That being said, I'm not going to start drama with my neighbor. They bought that house, I believe. I mean, I know it was up for sale and it was sold and they moved in. So I'm going to assume they purchased the house. We own our house. I'm not moving. I like my house. Could have used some upgrades? Yeah, I could use some stuff. But, you know, it's mine. It's my house. We own it. We've been paying on it for 5 years. Like, this is our house. And I'm not leaving. And if she wants to be a hateful person, you know, she could be a hateful person. But, you know, I got to believe in karma. I mean, I don't know if you heard about that dude. He killed one of the flamingos at Busch Gardens. I guess he grabbed it up out of the pen and threw it on the ground, and it was so injured they had to put it down. And he was getting ready to go to trial in like 2 months. And apparently he was crossing a street and got hit by a car and died. Karma. I believe it happens. So, just saying, I'm going to believe whatever karma needs to happen. If she knew the person did that and she's covering up for them, it'll work itself out. It's not my place to put judgment on her. I can be angry. I don't have to be friends with her, but I'm not going to judge her. Like I said, part of me does want to send her a bill for my time and be like, listen, this is how many working hours that I was not available, and you can pay me this much an hour. I mean, I can do it based on my my health coaching time, because technically I am kind of health coaching some people right now. I'm doing it as I learn, I teach them to kind of practice. But I do have 2 people I'm working with, and going over what I learned in class and teaching them how to use that information and how to do their diet and all of that. So I am health coaching. So I mean, I can charge my health coaching thing because technically I'm supposed to be available those hours. But I don't know what I'm gonna do at this point. I'm just frustrated. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm hurt that someone would do that to someone they don't know. I think that's more of what I am. I think I'm more hurt than anything else. Like, why would you do that to somebody you don't know? Anyhow, this is getting too long. So I'm going to do my weigh-in now. Thank you guys for putting up with my story, and thank you guys for being patient. You have no idea. It took me 6 hours to upload that video yesterday, and I was so frustrated it took so long. But I was doing it off my phone with no internet, and yeah. So here's my weigh-in. I'm going to spoil it for you because I'm not going to sign off after this. I'll just put in my weigh-in at the end. I did lose 1.2 pounds this week, and I'm thankful for that. And now I'm just working on trying to keep my stress level down so I don't gain next week. Because stress will make you gain weight. And it's true. Stress down your digestion so you don't get the right minerals and vitamins you need in your system. And you won't lose weight. So, be good. Don't stress. Take deep breaths. Be like me. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Monday. Bye.